So in ideology is the last ideology and the simplest one. Fascism was also simple, right? There is nothing in fascism, but there will be a question on fascism because of again rise of authoritarian leaders in the world. So there will be a question on fascism, but fascism is a very simple ideology. In the same way, feminism is also a very simple ideology. There is nothing in feminism, right? Very simple and straightforward views, right? Complexity वगैरह ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. See, when you say feminism, it is not a thesis, it is actually antithesis. First of all, you need to understand this, right? It is not a theory that emerged because of on its own. Okay, no, it has emerged as a reaction. Okay, so this is not an action, this is a reaction. All right, same like for example we can say communism was a reaction to liberalism. Hai ki nahi? Right, or fascism was reaction to communism. In the same way, feminism is a reaction, but reaction to what? Right, so this is a reaction to patriarchy because patriarchy has been prevailing in all the parts of the world, but here we are talking about Europe only. Right, so we think that it is only in India. No, it is actually in every part of the world. Patriarchy is in every part of the world. So patriarchy has become a hegemony. राइट, हेजेमनी म्हणजे आपण त्याला सोप्या भाषेत काय म्हणणार, इट हॅज बिकम अ कॉमन सेन्स. राइट, सो कीपिंग अ फीमेल इन होम, not educating a female, not letting her work was not seen as any wrongdoing. It was seen as common sense. Right, why? Because when we talk about, see, there are two things. There is something called sex and there is something called gender. Is there any difference in sex and gender? Yes, sex is biological. Sex is biological, gender is psychological. Sex is something that you have naturally. Gender is something that you can create or you can think of. Alright, sex is something that you cannot change. Gender is something that you can change. Alright, so there are, sex is like being a male or female. When we talk about our biological characteristic, then we tell our sex, but gender is being feminine, masculine. Right, so if you are biologically female, it is not compulsory that you will have to act feminine. Right, it is a possibility that you act masculine, and even if you are biologically male, it is not compulsory that you act masculine. You might act feminine also, because it is a psychology. Right, so your psychology, how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself, decides your gender. But how are you is decided by the sex, because that is biological, that has been provided to you by nature. Gender, no. Like we have some concepts, again that is a stereotype, wrong, I believe, wrong words to use, but like we have some terms, right? A girl who behaves or talks like a boy is called a tomboy girl. Hai ki nahi? Tomboy is a term that is used for a girl. So why do we say tomboy? Because she dresses like a boy, she talks like a boy, she behaves like a boy. So her sex is female, but her gender is masculine. Alright. A boy who talks like a girl, dresses like a girl, behaves like a girl, his sex is male, but his gender may be feminine. Alright. So gender is something that you change later on according to your perseverance, how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself. That is gender. But sex is something that you do not generally or cannot generally change. Right. So the female हा जो सेक्स आहे, earlier there was a time that this female was seen as a secondary sex. Right. It was considered that females are naturally weaker than males in every way, like naturally weaker intellectually also, physically also. So in every way it has been seen that females are by default weak. They are the secondary gender. They are not the second gender. Alright. So weak gender, the weaker gender they used to be called. Alright. So it was seen that as the females are physically, intellectually weak, then it is the duty. आता बघा हेजेमनी कशी तयार झाली होती. It is the duty of a male to protect a female. Right? It was seen as a duty. So therefore, what happened? When there is a concept of duty, what happens? When there is a concept of duty, there is a concept related to ethics. So patriarchy was supposed to be ethical. It is ethical duty of a man to protect his mother, his sister, his wife. Right? All the females in the world must be protected by the males because they do not have ability to protect themselves. Right? So it was means why did patriarchy become hegemony? Because it was promoted as ethics. It was promoted as your duty. Right? Same like we have seen the concept of white man's burden. Right? When Britishers came in India, they said, sir, this is not imperialism. We are carrying white man's burden. We are on civilization mission. है कि नहीं? And therefore, we are not ruling you. We are actually civilizing you. And it is our duty to do so because we have understood something and now it is our duty to make you understand those things. So, as British rule in India was projected as blessing, it was projected as duty of whites to civilize the browns or blacks. Same way, patriarchy was also projected. So patriarchy was projected like it is a duty. So why did patriarchy remain dominant for long time? So the reason was if a man himself understands that no, females are not weak, they are naturally as able as men. And if he says so, it was seen that he was less of a man. Because you cannot follow your duty. You are afraid of following your duty to protect women. You cannot protect women, therefore you say no, they can protect themselves. तर तुमच्या पुरुषार्थावरती शंका घेतली जायची म्हणून कोणी पुरुषच म्हणत नव्हता की नाही फिमेल्स आर ऑल्सो इक्वल. कारण की सो हाऊ पॅट्रिआर्की remained in picture or dominant for long time because patriarchy was taught in the first institution that everybody learns. Patriarchy was taught in family. Most importantly, patriarchy was taught by religion also, because in most of the religions in the world the gods are male. So if the god is male, then the male gender is only dominant. बाकी कोणी डॉमिनंट नाही मग. राईट. तो फिमेल्स गॉडच नाही आहेत किंवा फिमेल गॉडची कन्सेप्टच नाही, त्याच्यामुळे फिमेल्स वरती. दुसरं म्हणजे एव्हरी रिलिजन इन द वर्ल्ड, फेमिनिस्टचा क्लेमच आहे, एव्हरी रिलिजन इन द वर्ल्ड मेक्स द फिमेल्स वीक. नो रिलिजन इन द वर्ल्ड हॅज गिव्हन इक्वल पॉवर to the females, right? Even if you talk about Hinduism, there are female goddesses in Hinduism, but still there was patriarchy. So even Hindus could not maintain that if we worship a lady as a goddess, then we have to give equal status to the ladies in our houses. No. So the problem was every religion in the world weakened the women. Every religion in the world made it clear that women may not be sufficient enough. Women may not be able enough. So religion was teaching the same. In the family, it was taught that females are weak. The brother has to take care of the sister. Brother may be younger, sister may be elder. Still, he has to take care of the sister. Right. So it was taught everywhere. So in the society also, it was taught. In the later on education system also, it was taught. Let us say English language or any language in the world actually, but English is more relevant. Let us say English. In English language, we use some adjectives, right? Like there are some adjectives that talk about beauty, and there are some adjectives that talk about strength. All the adjectives that talk about strength are talking about masculine objects. All the adjectives that talk about beauty are talking about feminine objects. On earth, we say earth is feminine, therefore we use her, right? We say moon is feminine, therefore we use her. Sun is aggressive, we use his. आता तसं म्हटलं तर इट्स म्हणत असतो आपण इंग्लिश मध्ये, बट स्टील वाईल टॉकिंग, राईट? सन इज अग्रेसिव्ह, तो आपण त्याला मॅस्क्युलिन प्रोनाउन वापरतो जर तुम्ही थर्ड जेंडर नाही वापरला तर, राईट? कुठलंही ब्रेवरीशी रिलेटेड काही असेल तर मॅस्क्युलिनिटीशी रिलेटेड होतं, आणि कुठली ब्युटी, पीस याच्याशी रिलेटेड असेल तर फेमिनाईनशी रिलेटेड होतं, राईट? सो इवन लँग्वेज प्रमोटेड दिस पर्टिक्युलर थिंग. लेटर ऑन द पोम्स, even any literature of every language promoted females as innocent or weak or fragile objects, right? And I have not used the term object by default. I really mean it. Females have always been objectified. They were not seen as people, right? They were seen as commodities. They were seen as objects. Like you look at any literature, means poetry, in any language, the females are always portrayed as extremely beautiful, extremely fair, very soft spoken. Female cannot be outspoken, right? When a female, even in the families, it has been taught to the girls की नो मोठ्याने बोलायचं नाही, शिवी द्यायची नाही, खराब बोलायचं नाही कोणाला, right? Because you are a girl, right? You have to sit in particular way, you have to walk in particular way, you have to dress in particular way, you have to appear in particular way, you have to behave in particular way, you have to sleep in particular way. इतकी भयानक परिस्थिती. You have to eat in particular way, right? In fact, it has been taught in families की नाही खाताना तोंडाचा आवाज होऊ देऊ नये, मुलीला चांगलं वाटतं का, आणि मग मुलाचा तोंडाचा आवाज झाला तर चालतो खाताना. So you have to eat in particular, you have to eat particular portions only. की नाही तुझं वजन वाढलेलं जास्त चांगलं नाही होणार, जास्त वीक पण नको, जास्त हेल्दी पण नको. मुलाला किती तूप, 1 किलो तूप एका पोळीवर टाकलं तरी चालतं, जोरात हसायचं नाही, राईट? ऑल दिस थिंग्स हॅव बीन टॉट इन द फॅमिलीज. Then in the advertisement later on, the age of technology has given rise to patriarchy at whole new level. जेव्हापासून मार्केटिंग आणि ऍडव्हर्टाइजमेंट चालू झाली तेव्हापासून आपण एक टर्म वापरतो फेमिनिझम मध्ये, त्याला आपण म्हणत असतो कमोडिफिकेशन ऑफ विमेन. कमोडिफिकेशन ऑफ विमेन हा इतका विचित्र प्रकार आहे, अँड दिस हॅज स्टार्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ एज ऑफ मार्केटिंग. Unfortunately, from the day advertisement started, women were seen as commodities. They were not seen or treated as people. They were not treated as human beings. They were not given dignified jobs. Let us start with earlier stage of advertisement or film industry. First of all, people were not sending the females to work in the films. So the males used to wear saris and work in the films. But later on, when the females started to work in the film industry, it was seen as a very downgrading job. So earlier, it is a reality. Earlier in cinema, prostitutes worked because the females from the good families do not work in the entertainment industry. The females from good families do not sing also. This earlier singers were males only. Females were not they were not allowed to sing also. And then when the age of your advertisement started, females, like, now this camera can be used by a male as well as female, right? But if I want to advertise this today also, आता आपण तर postmodern times मध्ये, but today also in the advertisement the model will be female who will be holding this camera. She might not be, म्हणजे this might not be something that she wants to use. अरे समजा मेलचे शूज आहेत, त्याची ऍडव्हर्टाइजमेंट करण्यासाठी हातात ते फिमेलच्याच आहेत शेवटी. मग अरे these are male shoes, so why are you putting a poster girl there? You have to have a poster boy because those are male. बेल्टची ऍड आहे, मेलच्या बेल्टची ऍड, and there are females. मेलच्या शर्टची पॅन्टची ऍड, there are females. डिओड्रंटची ऍड, those are the worst indignified ads. की डिओड्रंट मारायचं and then it's a female catcher. अरे इट्स अ फिमेल मॅग्नेट. की यू फॉगची ऍड यायची बा पहिले, की यू जस्ट यूज ऍक्सची यायची, यू जस्ट यूज ऍक्स अँड यू विल अट्रॅक्ट अ लॉट ऑफ फिमेल्स. ते नसतं का आपण ते हे लावतो मस्किटो अट्रॅक्ट करण्यासाठी, त्यात सगळे मस्किटो येऊन बसतात. ते का त्या फिमेल्स म्हणजे ते काय मस्किटोज आहेत का? दे आर द ह्युमन बिंग्स. तो हाऊ कॅन अ डिओड्रंट अट्रॅक्ट देम? त्यांना काय बुद्धी नाही का की ते फक्त चांगला वासायला की जाणार? मग तर ते गार्डन मध्येच बसले असते सगळ्या पोरी, राईट? तो मेल डिओड्रंटची ऍड, यू शो फिमेल. मेल shaving cream ad, you show female. Male shoes, any male product is shown by female, any technological product is shown by female. Everywhere there is female in the advertisement industry, not because we like them but because we commodify them. It is like if I have a female model on my poster, then product काय आहे कोणी त्यानंतर बघेल, एकदा त्या मॉडेल कडे बघून ऍड करतोय बघेल. ही फॅक्ट आहे. लाईक वेन वी वर प्रमोटिंग एज्युकेशन अकॅडमी, तर मला तो ग्राफिक डिझायनर होतो, म्हटला सर 2-3 मुलींचे फोटो टाका, ऍटलीस्ट मुलींच्या फोटोकडे लोक बघतील आणि मग बघतील की युपीएससीचा क्लास आहे. म्हटलं का मुलीच करतात का युपीएससी? आणि ही फॅक्ट आहे ऍक्च्युअली. तसं हा युपीएससी क्लासवरती मुलींचा फोटो टाकला परवडतं, पण कारण की दरवर्षी मुलीच पहिला येऊ लागल्या. सो तिथे तरी ठीक आहे की चला मुली इमानदारीत करता युपीएससी. देअर वॉज सो मच हेजिमनी क्रिएटेड दॅट फिमेल्स ऑल्सो डिड नॉट ऑपोज टू इट. Unfortunately, today also females are not opposing to it. Right? Today also, look at your film industry. Any female that is married and above 40 is not a lead actor. A male who is married maybe thrice and above 50 is still a lead actor who is working with a 24-year-old female. Right? So this is a stereotype. This we have in our minds. And therefore females are taught in behave, look, talk in certain way, because they have to be always. A female cannot be looking clumsy, a female cannot be looking ugly, a female has to look beautiful all the time. How is it possible? A guy can look ugly, right? आपण असं मोठ्यानं खोकलो, मोठ्यानं शिंकलो चालतं. फिमेल असले तर इट इज तू रुमाल का बरं नाही वापरला, असं चांगलं वाटतं का 4 लोक? वाय? आता ती ह्युमन टेंडन्सी. आता तुम्हाला जर आता स्नीज येणार तर येणार आहे, त्याला कोण काय करू शकतं? ती मेलला येणार आहे, फिमेलला येणार. द वर्स्ट मार्केटिंग हॅपन्ड विथ दोज फेअरनेस क्लिप्स. आता नाव दॅट इज अ स्टिरियोटाइप ऑफ व्हाईट्स, अनफॉर्च्युनेटली, राईट? सुपिरियरिटी ऑफ व्हाईट्स दॅट फिमेल हॅज, मेल डज नॉट मॅटर. मेल, आता तुम्ही बघा, व्हॉट इज अ डेफिनेशन ऑफ अन अट्रॅक्टिव्ह मेल? तर आता आमच्या काळात डेफिनेशन असं होती, टॉल, डार्क अँड हँडसम. A man had to be tall, had to be dark. A fair man used to be seen as feminine, right? And a man has to be tall, man has to be dark, and man has to be handsome. And the female has to be 100% beautiful, thin, right? She should not be healthy too much, right? She should not be dark at all, right? म्हणजे ब्राऊन तर लांबचीच गोष्ट आहे, ब्लॅक तर लांबची गोष्ट आहे, ब्राऊन पण एक्सपेक्टेड नव्हतं. सो त्याच्यामध्ये फेअरनेस प्रोडक्ट्स त्याचे शिकार मॅक्सिमम फिमेल्स. द लेडीज आर सायकोलॉजिकली अफेक्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. इट इज फॉर देम देअर लाईफ, राईट? बिईंग फेअर फॉर यंग गर्ल्स इज देअर लाईफ, राईट? दे थिंक दे आर टू इन्फिरियर इफ दे आर नॉट फेअर. बट I do not understand why is that so. That is the stereotype of whites. White is always, again, that is a linguistic hegemony. White is always seen as good and black is always seen as bad. Linguistically also, black money, black market, black whatever. म्हणजे ब्लॅक हा शब्द आपण वापरतो, तो ब्लॅक शब्द आपण नेहमी खराब गोष्टींसाठी वापरतो. व्हाईट शब्द नेहमी चांगल्या गोष्टींसाठी वापरतो. सो त्याच्यामुळे मग बिईंग व्हाईट हे चांगलं समजलं जातं आणि बिईंग ब्लॅक ऑर डार्क स्किन टोन हे खराब समजलं जातं. सो लेडीज आर ट्रॉमेटाइज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. एखादी अनएज्युकेटेड फॅमिली असेल तर ते आजही त्यांच्या मुलींना तेच शिकवत आहे. राईट, ती आजही ती आई तिच्या मुलीला तेच शिकवते की तू काळी आहे, मग तुला उद्या चालून लग्नाच्या वेळेस प्रॉब्लेम येणार आहे. सो त्याच्यामुळे आतापासूनच आपल्याला असं काहीतरी करावं लागेल की तुला जॉब लागला पाहिजे. सो गेटिंग इन टू जॉब फॉर अ गर्ल म्हणजे टुडे ऑल्सो पॅरेंट्स आर एज्युकेटिंग गर्ल बट पॅट्रियार्की इज नॉट फिनिश्ड. Parents are educating girls because they think that tomorrow when they get married, they'll get a good groom. It is a today's phenomenon also. Unfortunately, patriarchy is still not finished. We still ask our girls to get back to the homes before 7. We still ask our girls to wear certain type of clothes only. We still ask our girls to behave in certain way only. Right. The reason is we still have this in mind that they are weak. They need protection, and unfortunately in the country like India, rapes are increasing so much that the parents are extremely worried about girls. And you can look at the tragedy of the issue that when a girl is raped, first of all the discussion is ki why is she on road so late in the night. विषय हा पहिले येत नाही की हाऊ डेअर समबडी रेप्स हर. विषय हा येतो की नाही पण मुलीने तरी रात्री 10ला कशाला एकटी फिरायची. मग मुलं फिरलं तर चालतात पण मुली फिरल्या तर नाही चालत. मुलीनं कोणते कपडे घातले होते इथपासून डिस्कशन सुरू होतं की मग मुलींना पण समजायला पाहिजे रात्री 10ला एकट्या फिरतात, कपडे पण नीट घालत नाहीत, मग कशासाठी. म्हणजे मग आर यू जस्टिफाईंग रेप की ती फक्त रात्री 10ला एकटी फिरत होती आणि तिनं कशा प्रकारचे कपडे घातले होते ह्यावरनं तुला कुठून ऑथॉरिटी मिळाली तिला रेप करण्याची. इट इज लाईक की मुलगी 10ला घराच्या बाहेर एकटी असली तर आपण तिला रेप करू शकतो असा याचा अर्थ होतो का. खरंच आहे ना. आय फील हर्ट इन ऑन बोथ एंड्स. एक मला हा हर्ट आहे की मुलींना आपण असं कसं वागवतो आणि एक मला हा पण हर्ट आहे की म्हणजे मुलांना काही लाज नाही असं कसं काय गृहीत धरताय तुम्ही. मी अ गाय कॅन रोम अराउंड शर्टलेस. वाय? बिकॉज डोंट वी हॅव एनिथिंग लाईक आपल्याला काही इज्जत नाही काय असं थोडीच असतं. दॅट इज ऑल्सो बॅड. दॅट इज ऑल्सो बॅड की you can behave however you want. No, we cannot behave however we want. जर there are certain boundaries to be आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो to be shown in public, then those boundaries must be to the female as well as male. Right, but today you put a girl in any competition, the girl comes first and the guy comes second. Right, so त्याच्यामुळे the girls are म्हणजे there is no tough competition also. Actually there is no competition. The girls are far beyond than us. Right, number one. So intellectually there is no doubt that they are stronger actually. Emotionally they are too much stronger than guys. Emotionally you cannot touch female. शक्यच नाही. Guys are too weak emotionally. ही fact आहे. Consider a situation that after 22, 23 years of age, you suddenly overnight leave your home, your parents, get down to somebody else's home and make it your home. Is it possible for a guy? No, it is not possible. तुम्ही 2 दिवस जरी पालकांना सोडून गेले, 2 दिवस भारी वाटतं, तिसऱ्या दिवशी वाटतं की यार मम्मीच फोनच नाही आला. पॅट्रियार्की इज इटसेल्फ अ मिथ. फक्त प्रॉब्लेम हा आहे की रिलीजन मधून पण आलं, तुमच्या फॅमिलीमधून पण आलं, नंतर एज्युकेशन इन्स्टिट्यूशन मधून पण आलं, मग या ऍडव्हर्टायझिंग इंडस्ट्रीनं भयानक केलं. ऍडव्हर्टायझिंग इंडस्ट्री किंवा पोएट्री किंवा प्रोज या सगळ्या गोष्टीमधून फिमेल्स वर ऑलवेज शोन ॲज वीक, फ्रॅजाईल, आणि त्याच्यामुळे ते त्यांनी पण मानलं. सो मेजर इशू इन फेमिनिझम is the concept of patriarchy only. बाकी सगळा फेमिनिझम इज व्हेरी सिम्पल.